Welcome to the Backyard Professor Responds videos. Tonight I had an interesting situation. I went out looking at the sky with my binoculars, and I tried my regular uh, Nikon D7100, and that doesn't work very good at all. It'll be good for daytime observation and for hooking up to my telescope when I get my telescope, whenever that'll be. And my lenses fogged over. And I did not realize while I was trying to focus and record, and it was quite remarkable. So I don't have any good video to show you. In one, it fogged over within just a couple of minutes of being out. Now, tomorrow morning, it's going to be extremely foggy, so the humidity is high, but the sky cleared out today. The winds blew all the clouds out. So in attempting to look for the UFOs, my equipment did not function right. It gathered moisture on the lenses, and I got them all wiped out. I mean, it didn't damage the binoculars at all, but everything had a halo around it, real big, no matter how bad I tried to focus. And I focused up on Jupiter. Jupiter is in Taurus the Bull right now, right next to the Pleiades. Very interesting situation. A lot of satellites are flying through that part of the sky, not near Jupiter, of course, circling Earth, but just interesting. So I failed at getting any good video. I just never expected this particular situation. This is a good challenge for me. This will teach me patience without question. Just exactly like researching this whole topic, the UFO topic, through various books, magazines, articles, and YouTube channels is also very challenging. Now, I am in the process of reading Richard Dolan's book, A History of USOs. Very well done. This will be a most important contribution to our understanding of these USOs before we have disclosure, which we are not going to get through the government, I don't believe. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I don't think so. Disclosure will happen in a different manner. And my firm belief now, and I've been at this for, such a short time, I don't have a right to a belief, according to some of you veterans who have been doing this for 50, 60, 70 years. I acknowledge your understanding is going to obviously be vastly more than mine. But in the process of doing my research, I do believe that this thing is truly old, centuries at least, and it's worldwide. It's extensive. Now, when I say worldwide, I don't mean in just most countries. I'm also getting the impression of all of our oceans, many of our lakes, and yes, even some of our rivers, USOs have been seen in the rivers. And the remarkable way that Dolan is going about investigating this is so impressive. I am deeply impressed. This is going to be a splendid reference texts, series of texts. I'll buy his volume 2 and 3 after they come out. He said perhaps early this year, but a little later than right now. This one just came out just a couple days ago, and I immediately purchased it. I would advise you to do the same if you're interested in learning more about these. This whole angle is definitely different than the other angles that we have been trying to assess and analyze either through the air or as orbs, saucers, discs, cigars, etc. that is part of the confusion. I think, I've actually asked myself, why are there so many different shapes? And, well, we have jets, we have regular airplanes, we have helicopters, we have space rockets, we have boats, we have submarines. Our own vehicles have a lot of different shapes. Dolan is at pains to point out, and extremely rightly so, however, that these various shapes have been described for centuries. There isn't just one kind. And the other remarkably interesting thing, now he gives the website here. I have not taken the time yet to look at the website because I'm enjoying his book. I actually like this book better than his first one, which is the UFO. I say first one. It's not his first one. It's the first one of his I've gotten, of the 21st Century Mind and the UFOs, which is a superb overview. But I think this one's even going to give me more information. When he shares the idea, let me see if I can find it real quick. I should have found it beforehand. Sorry. Yeah, right here. Page 3 in the introduction. I don't want to lose my spot here. Page 3 in the introduction. What we don't have, and this description of the transmedium aspect, meaning that they can be flying through the air, and then they'll either dive in under the water and keep going, or they just simply go all the way down, straight down into the water, and then zip off, etc. The alarming thing is that the USOs travel underwater at about 100 knots. And this is alarming to all of the militaries in the world because nothing human-made goes that fast underwater. Our fastest nuclear submarine goes 40 knots, and that's animal. That is serious speed. Can't even approach a USO speed, more than double what we have. And we don't have the capability, we never have had the capability of transmedium travel, meaning we don't have a craft that will stop and hover and then go in under the water and instantly work underwater, or vice versa, going through the water and then coming up out of the water and keep right on going. Sometimes at enormous speeds, 1,800 miles an hour, after just first getting out of the water, 1,800 miles an hour. There is nothing like that in our military machines in any nation on the planet, but these have been, and that's one of the patterns. So we have here a most remarkable phenomenon. The U.S. Navy is working on the idea of transmedium travel, though, and this is the website. The Navy concluded transmedium flying submersibles were possible a decade ago, and he gives the website, and he gives another website of how submarines work. And in order to make the submarines work as well as they do, some of our submarines that go 40 knots, they are able to carry large payloads of weapons, etc. Once you get that up above and into the air, no, we can't do that. We have to fly horizontally fast to get airlift in order to fly, or have propellers above the craft to give us airlift. These USOs don't have anything like that. So we are a long way away from this particular technological astonishing innovation. Well, they've been seeing this now for a few centuries. And this was long before even submarines were invented. We didn't have aircraft carriers. There were no battleships. There were pirate ships back in the 1700s that were powered by the powerful backs of slaves rowing. But that's all there was. This technology has been described for a long time. And the variety of shapes, the saucers, the cigars, the bullets, just astonishing, remarkable. There is a consistency here that is indicating, and this is the value of studying history, it is indicating that there is a consistency, that this isn't just being invented whole cloth by people. Now, the remarkable thing that Dolan is going to do in this series, and I am very glad that he's taking this approach, and he describes this. Hope I can find it. Boy, we see them, they see us. He says the interesting thing is the event, and I'm on page 13 here. The events in this collection span from as early as 1717 in the Caribbean Sea to contemporary sightings in 2024. And this indicates, of course, a long history of USO encounters across different eras and technological phases of human development. This is interesting. They are global. They are seen literally everywhere on our planet, and in every ocean, and in many lakes and many rivers. So they are not confined to any specific region. So that gives us an indication that perhaps there are a lot of these. Yeah. And that means these beings here have been here for a long time, several hundred years. If this is a stopover onto a further place in the cosmos or whatever, they're taking their sweet loving time. They must like it here. And so this is kind of, I really like his approach and his layout. His writing style is exquisite. It's nice. It's simple. It's easy to understand. He's got some humor in it. This will be a well-read, wide-read series of books. Remember, in the congressional hearing, I believe it was last year, November 13th, Richard Dolan's book on the USO was talked about, mentioned, saying that it was going to be a very, very important contribution, and that was in front of Congress and in front of several 100,000 people televised. So my suggestion sincerely is, if you want to get this, pronto, hop, you got to hurry. You're behind already if you haven't purchased it. Don't wait till next week. It might be out of print. Sincerely, he may very well have to do another reprinting of this thing. It's well done. I'm impressed. I like it. His contribution is immense. We owe a very huge debt of gratitude to Richard Dolan. I'm very grateful to you, Richard. I do appreciate all your patience and your professionalism, but most of all, I appreciate the care and the skill. I am very glad that he is a careful enough scholar that he puts his sources in this. He's not just telling the story. He tells you where he got the story, how credible the story is, how many witnesses, the type of craft, etc., where it was seen, etc. All superbly done. So I can see why, and he started it in 2022, so I can see why it took him 3 years to put this thing together. Thank you for your efforts. Very good. So that's what I wanted to cover tonight. It's not that I am not attempting to look for the UFOs in the sky or now in the water during the day or during the night. It's that my weather where I am at is not cooperating. And even though it blew into clear skies, the humidity prevented me from getting good video, something I never expected. So, I'm on a learning curve, and I'm sure I'm going to have setbacks, etc. But I do believe once I get my telescope and I'm able to hook up my camera to my telescope, I do believe I will have a better chance. One thing it will do for me is it will give me a much larger section of the sky. My context video-wise is going to be much greater than what I can get in this night vision binocular. It's okay, it's good, but it'll only cover a very small window of the entire sky, whereas a telescope can do a much bigger job. I'm very looking forward to getting to that point. It's an evolutionary process. I'm not going to get to it for a little while, but I am looking forward to it. So thanks for watching my Backyard Professor Responds videos. And thank you for all your patience and for all your support and all your love. We're going to do this one way or the other, is my suspicion. And it's really not a matter of we will only have validity when the government gives us the permission and the knowledge that, yes, they're real. We've already beat you to that point, chumps. They're real, all right. And since you insist on being secret, the rest of us are going to move forward. We're going to make the government's secrecy obsolete. And Richard Dolan is a gigantic key with that, not through videos and photos, but through historical research, historical witnesses, former government documents that were classified that are now unclassified, so that we are now beginning to learn the extent to which the government does know that these are real. We're already way ahead of that. We're looking ourselves, and we'll find it. It's just a matter of time and effort. So thanks for watching. I gotta go. I will catch up to you just as soon as I can. You guys have a terrific night. That's a direct order. It's the only bossy I'm allowed to have, and I use it. I order you to have a fabulous night and a terrific day tomorrow. I will catch up to you soon.